Alright, we're back at it again. Today I'm going to be trimming this inner fender well out. I jumped ahead, and you can see I've already made a cut here and a cut here. This one needs to come on up. I'm going to follow right along this wall to cut out. And that's going to be to clear, mostly, power steering pump. It ends up hitting right in here. And our brake system here, I'm drawing a blank, master cylinder, will end up coming up on the firewall. So I'll just tuck it out of the way as I'm sitting fenders on for now. And I've got it hooked up to my engine hoist here. And we'll just keep test fitting it back on the car and making a little trim here and there until it fits good. Then I'll mark it with a marker or score it somehow, take it back off and do my final trim. But right now we're going to fit that on for two things. One, to clear the engine, and two, I've got to cut these frame horns off and put the frame horns off the original 1951 chassis on there. So we'll see how far we get this afternoon. I've decided instead of just cutting that out underneath this battery box, I'm going to finish taking this battery box out. The brace for that battery support runs right behind this fender well. I don't plan on really keeping the battery there, but just in case, I'm going to cut shallow from on the front side of here to not cut through that bracket. That's about as far as we can go with that first section cut out. It's clearing pretty good over there. We've got plenty of clearance, but we're starting to connect where that inner fender goes down over there. We're starting to contact the frame, and let's see if I can see that in the video. It's starting to touch the frame there. It's going to be real close, so we got to clearance out that some more. We'll probably cut right in here, just a little bit, almost where that rubber is. And then the front, oh, sun's bad there, the light's bad. In the front, remember this is a late 90s Dakota front end. The body's starting to hit these, what I'll call, I believe, the frame horns. And the original body mounts use these two screws here, going down in the center. So we're going to end up having to cut these frame horns off somewhere in here. Probably have to bevel them down a little bit. But we're getting closer. Getting closer, inch by inch. Alright, what I'm going to do is, on the passenger side, we got this inner panel. I don't know how much you can see, but that's bolted in. So I'm just going to unbolt that and see if that provides me enough clearance. I have a feeling, because of the engine being offset to the passenger side, we're going to end up having to nibble away a little bit of that as well, that upper panel. And I'm going to remove this. That's the old heater box to give me some more room. And then over here, I don't think you can see where I marked the line here. We're going to come on in to make clearance for that power steering pump. So yeah, the battery probably not going to fit there later. So probably move that to the trunk. But when I get there, we'll be at a good place. We got a long ways to go. Let me stop rambling and yapping and get on to cutting some metal. There's always at least one bolt that's a pain in there. Got one down here. I think it's not a nut, it's kind of like a captivated nut, but it is spinning when I try to loosen it. Upon closer inspection, I think this panel just slides out the back, except that's on the inside. So see if we can just move it back. It should just slide out of those front slots. Like that. Too bad this side doesn't just unbolt, but we'll do a little bit more cutting. I'm still going to leave this brace. That was for the battery support underneath there, because I believe it does provide some reinforcement for the fender structure. If I can keep from cutting it, I will, but rough estimates show that power steering pump being right where that brace comes out. And the brace actually comes on back to about here. I don't know that it's attached that far back though. So I'm just going to cut the top off, the sheet metal off, and then we'll trim the brace later if we need to. It's about time for another cutoff wheel. This one's getting kind of low. Time for a new wheel. New wheel, engage. I cut a little too far right there. That metal's thin, and when the wheel jumped, cut right through it. This is where that piece is. Must be spot welded to that bracket right here. I'll show you the bracket again. Let's check it on the inside. Yep, see how far up that bracket comes? So we may end up having to cut it off right there, because it doesn't look like it's going to be doing any good after we remove that metal above it. Well, I thought I was ready to test fit this again. Quick walk around, I remembered I forgot that little corner here. So we're going to come down. I want to leave this reinforcement bead as a kind of bead there. And so I think I'm just going to trim right around this lip here and come right down there. Try to leave that if we can. It's going to be close. I believe when we test fit, it's going to be close. And it's still not going to fit because those frame rails, those frame horns over there, still too high, and they're going to contact the front there. But I want to try to get this cleared for the engine first, and then we can work on those frame horns. Who knows, I may get excited and cut those off today too. As I usually say, let's see how far we make it. It's getting close. See that painted body line there, it's almost matching up. Got it down just under these hinges, these hood hinges. It's going to be tight. We still need a clearance though. Over here on this passenger side, like I said, the engine sits about 2 inches or so to the left, or to the passenger side. But on the driver's side, it looks like we're going to have good clearance for that power steering pump. So there's those bodies. That molding, just need to come back and down a little more. Aside from the face, very close right here. Let's get on the driver's side as well. Almost as close, but I kept wondering, why can't I pull it back just a little more? Well, with that front end being up in the air, you can see these hood hinges are starting to hit the front of that inner fender, and over there as well. So to get those farther down, I'm going to have to cut those frame horns. I've marked that frame rail back. I believe that's about 10 inches from the front. I've marked the other side as well. So we're going to go ahead and cut those two off and probably refit that front end. One down, one to go. I won't film the second one. We're just cutting metal. we're going to put it on one more time. This is going to be it for tonight, and we're going to quit. So, however far it makes it, as far as we're going to go with it. Okay, I'm done for the night. It's pretty close. Struggled a lot, but you see the top's getting really close. The bottom's still a little wide, both sides, because it's better to see on the driver's side. It's getting really close. I can actually get this to come. It'll come out over the door, but it won't line up because the front end is still high. I've cut those frame rails. It's difficult to see there, but that body is sitting right up on the edge, right on the edge of that frame rail. So I'll have to trim that frame rail a little bit more, but the clearances look pretty good. Custom breather hole right there. That came natural. And this side I did cut out. I didn't show that in the video. You can see part of that brace underneath there. I'll probably finish trimming that away. And it gets a little tight back here, so we'll probably clearance that on out to the fender. And we'll do that sometime later, but we're in there. See where we're hitting those hood hinges were hitting down below before. Now they're getting close to being in the pocket where they belong. All right, well, we're going to stop there. This will be I think this was the 5th video. Maybe the next one we'll finish up that hood, getting that straight. I don't think there's a lot more to show there. We'll cut those frame rails off, move those front frame horns from the old frame over, and get it leveled out, or at least that's my angle of attack for now. Hey, as always, thanks for watching, guys.